Hey everyone, and welcome to Exact Digital Advice. I'm your host, Kinsey Adams. On this podcast, we interview marketing agencies all over the country and dive into the success, challenges, strategies, and tactics that we all face in this industry. Today, I'm joined by Scott McIntosh, the CEO of Digital Treehouse. All right, Scott, can you do me a favor and introduce yourself to everyone and let us know a little bit about what got you into this industry?
Thank you, Kinsey. My name is Scott McIntosh. I'm the founder of Digital Treehouse. I've been running Digital Treehouse. It's a digital marketing agency since 2018, but I've been doing digital marketing since 2008, when I was in the Navy. I was in the United States Navy for about a decade, and I was walking through an airport. We were on a mission, but we actually were flying commercial. So we're in an airport, and I picked up this magazine called Business 2.0, and I started reading it, and I was just like, when you just find your thing in life, it's like, maybe some of you haven't, maybe, but it's like all of a sudden I wanted to read this whole magazine and I just couldn't get enough of it. And it talked about this thing called a weblog, maybe a blog. It wasn't sure. And this cool thing called Facebook that I wasn't sure what that was. And I just couldn't get enough of it. And I read it, and I loved it. And I really jumped into it. I started training how to do SEO. I started doing Facebook. I started doing Twitter. I got the first iPhone. I literally have it behind me on the shelf somewhere. I waited in line for, hours and got the first one for like $780, and have just been a complete nerd since about 2008, 2009. So I really like digital marketing, and I think it's that passion that's driven me to keep going even in the hard years and to keep learning new things, especially now in the age of artificial intelligence.
Yeah. So I noticed that that's something that really is a pillar in your company. So explain to me what got you started there and, what inspired you.
Sure. So we do your standard digital marketing things, right? As an agency. I think you have agency and then you have like specialists, right? So you have companies that'll maybe handle Klaviyo email sequences and that's all they do and they get really good at it. Whereas my agency is more like I serve clients, right? And those clients need different things. So we do, websites. We do search engine optimization. We do Google Ads, Facebook, Instagram marketing. And then we dabble in some TikTok stuff, at least until TikTok gets potentially shut down this coming weekend. So a friend of mine came to me, and he's an entrepreneur. He's a mobile app company runner, which he sold that app. But we always brainstorm ideas. And he came to me a year ago and he said, "Hey, you got to look at AI. It's really changing things. It's incredible." And him and I really dove into it, and he kind of showed me what he was doing. And then I just loved it. I was like, okay, this is really cool. I like to go to conferences. So I went to a conference to learn it and just kind of dove into, this was the one time, like I went to a conference in Vegas and I opted to get a really nice room. And I did not leave the room unless I was going to the conference. Like it wasn't going out to Vegas and having fun or anything like that. I literally would go to the conference meetings, listen, and go back to my room and just study things. I turned off all my other email. I told all my clients, I was like, I'm going to be out for like 3 days. I really want to dive into this. And I really did. I really dove into it and loved it. And I've, spent the past year kind of figuring out, where do I fit in AI? Where does my company fit in AI? What's the future hold? I really think that we're in a sweet spot as agency owners right now where AI is helping us so much. Like AI has made my job so much easier. It's made me be able to do so many more things. But I think it's kind of a holiday period before AI starts doing the things that I do completely, right? Where people don't need my agency anymore. So I've been kind of looking, as I'm enjoying this kind of holiday period with AI, I've been diving in to see where can I use AI to move beyond what my standard agency is providing right now. Websites are going to build themselves fairly soon. Ads are going to be a lot easier to set up. You're still going to need a curator, which is what they're calling it, right? We're moving from creators to curators. Like we're letting AI do the heavy lifting, and then we're kind of curating that, what works, what doesn't, maybe giving it ideas, teasing it out. I don't know if that'll always be the case. I'm assuming that AI will eventually replace even the curators. Will be able to kind of figure out things on its own. So I'm kind of prepping for that time frame if that happens. But I'm loving it right now. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. AI is definitely exploding, so we don't know which direction it's going in, and you might as well lean into it while we have it and while we can.
I agree. I agree. Just work with it until it turns into robots and kills us all.
That is a possibility, that's for sure. I mean, has anybody watched the movies? I'm not going to name it because of legal reasons, but you know.
I mean, there's like 5 core movies. In fact, every movie I think about robots talks about them coming after us eventually. So we'll be on Mars by that time, I think, with Elon.
Yeah, I mean, hey, he's getting there. We're almost there, right?
He's designing clothing. Like, what are we gonna wear? Like, he has me. He is so not that he's optimistic. He's more scared. He's like, we have got to get to Mars, and he has like planning sessions. Like this Wednesday, we're meeting and we're going to talk about what we will wear on Mars. It's not like the basics. Like, well, how are we going to breathe? I'm sure he's got that figured out. He's like going into the details, man. I really got handed to that guy. I don't know if that's scary either. It's like if this guy that's really smart, that has done so much, that has anything he wants, is scared to death that we need to get to Mars as soon as possible.
Right.
Before the end, I'm kind of like, okay, well, maybe we need to kind of think about that and help him. But
So
although
you
he's a bit
mentioned,
out there.
yeah, so you mentioned something about TikTok, potentially going down. Have you thought about how that could affect your business? I know you said it's just a part of something that you do, but
Yeah. So interestingly enough, as kind of a creative person, I have a consumer product that I invented a couple years ago, which is right behind me somewhere, that pink thing right there.
yeah.
There it is. Um, and TikTok made the difference in that company. Like last year, we went really viral on TikTok. So I love Upwork. I highly recommend Upwork. I find really great people on Upwork. And I'll tell you guys a trick. If you're going to hire somebody on Upwork, hire 3 to 5 people, right? And here's why. And lose money on that first project. Unless it's like a total one-off, lose money on that project, but always hire 3 to 5 people. One person is not even going to show up to the first meeting. They're out, right? 2 to 3 people are going to get the work done, and it's going to be pretty good. Usually the other one person's is absolutely terrible, and then one person's is acceptable, but one person is going to nail it and just going to give you the most amazing thing. And then you keep working with that person, right? And you let go everyone else, you pay their contract off, whatever, and then you keep working with that person. With the exception of one time I did that and I had 2 people that nailed it, but one guy didn't ask any questions and he nailed it. The other one peppered me with questions like every day. And so I let that guy go and I took the guy that nailed it. And I've now worked with those like probably 6 core individuals for 6 to 7 years. I mean, daily. I'm working with 2 right now. I'm sending them, and one girl was in Ukraine and I didn't even know it. And I sent her some design requests, and it was right when the war broke out. She was like, Scott, I don't know if you know this. I'm doing my best Ukrainian accent here. Scott, I don't know if you know this, but I'm in Ukraine and I'm on the run. There's a war here.
Oh,
And we get to the designs later. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, don't worry about it. She's like, no, I want the work. Just let me get to the basement in like another city. I'm with my mom. I picture her like running through the dark streets with bombs going off, like,
oh my gosh, she's dedicated. I mean, where do you
he was
find people like
dedicated, man, I'm
that?
telling you. So you can find great people on Upwork. So the point of that
Wow.
story was I found some people to do some, people kept telling me to do TikTok, and they said you need to get some UGC, and I didn't even know what that meant at the time, which is basically just the people that create user generated content, right? So it's the people that create videos. I hired like 5 people to do videos. One girl pushed back on my price, and she said, I want double your price. And I kind of liked that because I was like, ooh, because everyone else was like, sure, yeah, I'll do it, whatever. And to me, that's like they need the work. They don't know what they're doing, maybe. They're desperate. I'll try them, right? But she pushed back. I looked at her account. She had millions of views on some videos. I was like, okay, she knows what she's doing. I paid her, oh gosh, 4 of her videos went viral, maybe 5, I think, at this. I mean, one got 10 million views, 10 million views. So it was amazing. So it made our product go very viral. It made me really dive into TikTok and try to figure out the algorithms. I started doing TikTok lives. So I'm heavily invested for my consumer product in TikTok. So if it goes down, it will hurt that business. But for my agency, it's so hard to do agency work on TikTok because it just requires so much time and effort. I could potentially obviously I could do videos for people if they need it. I could give them instruction, but I do not have any clients that do TikTok. Most of my clients are small businesses, service type businesses, lawyers, doctors, financial advisors, lawnmowers. So that's kind of my core business. So they're not going to really benefit from TikTok, right? Because TikTok doesn't really have a geo functionality. Like,
Right.
yeah, your video goes viral, but it goes viral all over the nation. So nobody's going to hire you in Seattle if your lawn mowing business is in Miami. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
they don't really ask for TikTok, and it's so time consuming and it's difficult, and the algorithm changes so fast, and there's always some new trend. It's just it's really it has to be your business. You have to love TikTok, and you've got to do it yourself as a business owner. You can get some help from maybe an agency or a consultant, but really you got to be the one on the camera.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that sometimes TikTok is so tried and true in their own algorithm that they're like, no, let me do all the work, which is fine. It's been very successful for some people, but in the world of, trying to do strategy, maybe not in some
Yeah.
areas. Yeah.
So the question is, if it goes down, what's going to happen? Which I'm 75% sure that it will not go down. Because I think something's gonna happen. I just don't see that happening. But if it happens, what's gonna happen with like Facebook and Instagram? If TikTok goes down, I mean, I just see Facebook and Instagram are gonna have a resurgence, right? And is Instagram gonna try to do some of those cool things TikTok is doing, like the live shopping? I know they do live shopping, but they don't put people in your room. So if I go live on TikTok, TikTok will actually put new people in your room. People will discover your live feed just by scrolling through TikTok, and they'll jump in your room if you're interesting enough, or your background really matters a lot. Like I've changed my background and gone from 10 viewers to like 1,000 just because I was sitting on the porch versus sitting in my couch. Um, Instagram doesn't do that. Like I went live on Instagram and two people joined, my brother and like a friend from high school. He's like, "Hey,
Right.
what are you doing?" I was like, I don't know. I'm trying to sell this thing." So I was like, "Don't worry about it." Um, so it will Instagram start taking some of those things that TikTok has learned about live selling and applying them. The affiliate program is amazing. Like you can literally be on TikTok, see a product and buy it, and then say, I want to affiliate for this product, and you can make a video about the product and post it, and people can buy the product and you get paid. I don't see that on Instagram. There's no button to sign up for like, hey, I see this great product, I want to be an affiliate. Anyway, I'm not that experienced on TikTok or Instagram affiliates. I'm obviously experienced on TikTok affiliates, but I'm very curious to know what's going to happen, because my wife and I were talking about this morning. It's funny. She's like, well, why doesn't America just build another TikTok? And I was like, well, we kind of have it. It's called Instagram already.
Yeah.
It's just not the same.
Right. Have you heard
And I
about
agree.
Red Note?
Yeah, I have heard about Red Note. What did I just hear about that? Didn't it just like explode? Like it's going nuts right now?
Yeah,
It's
people
because
are learning Mandarin to watch the videos.
that's right. And like Chinese people are talking to Americans, and Chinese people are like, we're sorry, we're spying on you. He.
We were like, I don't care.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
whatever. My buddies, I got a really good friend who's very conspiracy theorist, and he's always like, it's like, I don't use social media, because I don't want people to know what I'm doing. I was like, dude, nobody cares what you're doing. I was like, right, you're not.
No, I'm not that important.
What are you so worried about, right?
I'm not doing anything that I shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, it's like, unless you're doing something really shady, it's like, what are you so worried? Like, who cares, man? Post it. I'm like, geez, I want people to see. I'd love 1,000 views on something, or 10,000 views, man. I post something, I get like 3 views. It's like, I don't care.
Yeah, come on now. So you've talked a lot about all of the accomplishments that you've done. You have a lot of feet in a lot of different doors. You seem like a dynamic person. What would you say is your company's like biggest strength? Like Digital Treehouse itself.
Speed. I think speed is our biggest strength. We can build a website or a landing page in like 2 or 3 days, completely customized for somebody, right?
It's
Same with
great.
a website. And we can knock a website out in like, I mean, I've done it in one day, just in an emergency, but I still understand why it takes 30 to 60 days for an agency to build a website and they got to charge 20 grand. To me, that's just so legacy. That's so dated. Um, and the problem is these agencies now are so bloated with employees and people in this AI realm, and it's like half your copywriters don't even need to be there anymore.
Right.
But they're still selling these websites and these projects that this client quoted me, or this agency quoted me 40K for. And I'm like, because we're not reinventing the wheel there, buddy. I mean, the website's a website. They're all pretty standardized these days. Homepage, contact, about us. Is it
Right.
a merchant site? Is it WordPress with WooCommerce? Is it Duda like we build in? Is it Squarespace? Um, does Drupal still exist? I don't even know. I haven't heard about a Drupal website, thank God, in a long time. So yeah, I think our strength is just speed and ability to adapt to changing um, advertising and marketing and technology conditions. I have a very small team. Uh, I basically use contractors for all my team, which helps me be very flexible because, and I have people all over the world, right? So I don't have to hire somebody in the United States. I don't mind. I love people in the United States, but it's like if I can hire somebody that can do the job just as well overseas for less money, um, it allows me to charge my clients less, right? And when that project is over or that business ends, we're no longer doing XYZ because the market has changed, then I don't use the contractor anymore. So again, I'm not worried about cash flow. I'm not stressed out. I don't have sales reps going out sending cold emails and cold calling people to get their business.
Not
We don't
fun.
do any sales. Yeah, it's all like word of mouth. Like, hey, you should work with Scott. He's great. So if you need something, we will get it done. I will find the right people to do it if it's not me, and we'll get it done fast and much cheaper than anybody else. So I think that's our biggest strength. It's just kind of the way that our agency is set up to be very responsive and speedy.
Speedy. I like that. You should have that on your website. Like just a video of you saying, we're speedy.
We're so speedy.
We're so
We're gonna
speedy.
get it done. Woo!
Yeah, with AI. Woohoo. I mean, that's the thing is like with you're not leaning into AI, you're going to get left behind because it's just what the world is now. So it's something I always talk about it like chocolate, it can't supplement a meal, of course. You have to have that background, you have to have that information, but it can get stuff done quickly and it can do those little things that would normally take all day potentially and do it in moments.
Yeah. And then, sometimes your brain is just tired. We're humans,
Right.
right? We get tired. And I think I get tired more than most people. I only have like 4 hours of core productivity during the day. Otherwise, I'm kind of a zombie. Or I just need to get outside and walk or go to the gym or something and just kind of I really need to be physical. Um, so let's say it's Friday afternoon and I get like 3 emails from clients, and usually I would wait until Monday to answer those emails. I would think about them all. They bug me all weekend. I'm going to answer that Saturday morning, and then I'm playing with my 8-year-old, and I never get them answered until Monday. And so now I just throw those emails in AI. I kind of give it some basic notes and I say, what's a great response? And it gives me a great response that again, I can customize a little bit, but it gives me the energy, to answer those emails and get that off my plate much quicker. So I just think it's fantastic. And when people, I think a lot of people that when you say AI, they don't even know what you're talking about. Like, how do they interface with AI? So just to tell the listeners out there, when we say that, we're basically talking about using Chat GPT. That's really it. It's a chat bot. You talk to it, you ask it questions. I've got to the point now where I have, and you can save your chat. So I have a chat about cooking, and I tell it all the groceries we have, and I will ask it, hey, what should I eat for lunch today? And it'll say, well, you have this, 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 and this left. Or I say, we got hit by a big snowstorm, and I was like, hey, I want to make a blueberry pie. Here's the ingredients I have. What ingredients do I need? And it gave me all the ingredients and the recipes. I go to the store, and it's like, get flour, and there's 3,000 different types of flour, right? And I'm not the
Yeah.
shopper, so I literally took a picture of it with my phone, fed the picture into ChatGPT, and said, which flour should I use for my my pie, right? And then I was like, I want to not use sugar. Can I use something else? I was like, yeah, get monk fruit. And I was like, well, which one? There's 5 different ones. He was like, get this one. It's perfect. And then I was like, all right, now I've got some extra ingredients. What do I make this with? It gave me 10 more recipes just to use the extra ingredients for. I mean, I didn't know when the pie was done. I'm taking pictures of the pie in the oven. Is this done? It's like, no, give it 5 more minutes. I mean, you're having a conversation with this thing. Then I'm trying to track my calories, and lose it. And I'm like, how many calories are in one slice of that blueberry pie I made? And it's like, well, it depends. Is it like a 6-piece cut or an 8-piece cut? And I was like, well, it's a 6-piece cut. It's a pretty big piece of pie. And it tells me how many calories. And I mean, it's just unbelievable, And I'm like, hey, and I'm tracking my sleep now because I'm trying to be healthier. I'm getting older. You guys will all get there. And I'm seeing the data in my Lose It app, and I'm sending it to ChatGPT, and I'm like, hey, here's my sleep data. I don't know how to interpret it, and it literally interprets it for me. And then I went and had my blood work done. You can request your own blood work, by the way, if you just go to like labs, and you can go to Walgreens or whatever and get your blood drawn, and they'll send you the results. And then I fed the results into AI. I didn't even have to go to a doctor. I was like, what do I need to do? How's my blood looking? And it gave me all this different advice about my blood, like a doctor would. I mean, it's just the knowledge and again, there's one of those secretly things. People are like, I don't want to put my blood work in AI. I'm like, nobody cares about your health but you. I got to be honest,
Literally.
nobody cares.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah, you can do
so
like
it,
workout regimens and then you can be like, okay, I'm ready to up the ante, hey, I'm having a slow day. What should I do? That's one of my tabs.
I love that. Yeah,
ChatGPT.
that's great. Hey, what should I
Yeah.
do for my workout today? Hey, I did this. I mean, guys, it could be your personal trainer. It can be your personal chef coach. It can be your personal life coach. It could be your depression help, your therapist. I mean, just talk to the thing. Tell it what you're trying to achieve. Um, one trick I've learned though is don't give it everything at once. Like start work your way through it. And you can even tell ChatGPT to ask you, like, I want to improve my life. Can you start asking me questions to help me get there? And it'll literally start and it'll ask you, just like you sat down with a therapist. Not that I've done that. Maybe I have.
Love it. No shame. No shame. We all need one,
I know. I know. It's like I'd much rather admit to my Chat GPT personal use versus the Ozempic shots that nobody is admitting to, right? I don't know if you've seen some of these Hollywood interviews. They're like, well, I've changed they've lost 50 pounds. Or like, well, I've changed my food routine and I'm walking a lot more. It's like, come on.
Like you've
We
looked
all,
like that for 20 years and now all of
yeah,
a sudden.
we know what you're doing. What'd that girl do during was it the Golden Globes? She was like, it's so sad to see all this uneaten food in the audience, this gourmet food that nobody's touching because everybody's on those shots.
That's so bad. I honestly didn't see that, but that is really bad. Like they should have donated. I hope they donated it. Maybe.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
doubt
though.
it.
Yeah. But yeah, I honestly it's helped me a lot to be able to serve my clients better so that like I can have more time for them and like face-to-face time rather than like, oh, I'm writing this proposal for you. It's more so like I mean, of course, I'm putting the information in and I'm tweaking things and I'm just getting a layout and just kind of having that assistant type thing in the background is so helpful so that I can actually cater to the needs of my clients better.
I agree. Yeah, it's going to do a lot of more of the background heavy lifting that drains us, and you can have more face time. I really think it's going to lead to people having a lot more real people time. Um, and just helping with the stress. I got an email from my client yesterday. I was sending him an idea for some new ads to run, and he kicked back an email. And again, it was the end of the day, and it was like, "Hey, what can I expect to receive from these? How many impressions am I gonna get? How many clicks? How many conversions?" Like he wanted all this data, which normally I'd be like, I can't estimate that. Let's just run it and see." But then
Right.
I got to think, and then I'm going through all the different ideas in my head, and then I'm like, wait, I'll just put this into AI. It can answer all these questions. And I stopped thinking about it. I was much more relaxed. Um, and if you think about social media, eventually we're not going to know what's real anymore,
Mhm.
right? We're already getting close. And I think that's almost going to shut down social media, right? I think it's going to make people be like, well, that's not real anymore. I'm going to just call my friend Kinsey and talk to her, right?
Yeah.
Or I'm going to just have a FaceTime with her. I just think it's going to make us have a lot more realistic. We're going to crave real human interaction. We're going to get sick of this. That's not even real. Like, that's not even you. By
I
the way,
completely agree.
yeah. By the way, you're not talking to the real Scott. This is my AI. The real Scott's in bed right now,
I knew it.
taking a
I knew it.
taking a nap. Remember Max Headroom? You probably don't. That was before your time, but
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
I
But
think it was almost before my time.
I mean, so what was it called again? Sorry, can you say it again?
Max Headroom.
Max Headroom. Okay, that's going to be my homework. So
Okay,
I'll
yeah.
follow up and let you know
All
what
right.
I think.
Well, the first AI ever was Max Headroom, I think.
Oh, wow. I
He
didn't know.
wasn't really an AI. It was just like it was just weird. I don't even actually know what it is now. I forget. But look it up and you'll be like, this is so weird.
Okay, will do. Will do. So you've talked about like your strengths. It seems like you have a lot of them. I can see that you really are an efficient guy. But what would you say is one of the biggest challenges that you faced in this world?
Sales is always, I said we don't do sales. I don't want to hire sales reps. I've hired them before. It's been a disaster. I've in other companies managed sales pits, like just 10, 20 salespeople making phone calls every day, calling people. We do run email sequences, so we do that. But just getting the clients is the hardest part. I know we have a really good service. One of our best services is we work with publishers and we do email and newsletter growth. So like publishers of newsletters, publishers of magazines, I guess any business that has a newsletter, we can grow your subscriber list. We've got a really good system to do it. And I'm like, and I handle it all myself. I got to set up one today. I mean, we do it so fast and it works so well. And just finding more clients to do that, right? It's really hard to get people to trust you and to understand what you do and then get them to start paying. And then obviously once they're with you, like my clients, I rarely lose a client. I mean, I think my average client tenure is like 3 years. So most of the clients we get, we keep for years. unless their business ends or they just stop doing what they're doing. But I think that's the hardest part is just getting a really good steady flow of clients in the door. And my theory has always been do the best job you can and ask for people to refer people to you, right? And you do
Absolutely.
get clients over time. And we have gotten, we our agency is self-sustaining now. We've got a really good group of core clients, and we do get a lot of business. But man, I could like getting getting out there, getting more clients, marketing ourselves. That's right. The cobbler's shoes don't fit type of thing. It's like
100%.
it's so hard to you focus on all these other businesses and you don't market yourself. It's like it's just I think that's how it goes with a lot of agencies. So
No, I completely agree. I think sometimes it's easy to invest all your time in your clients and you want to get the best results for them. And then you're like, oh, wait, there's me as well. And people are going to trust people that they know. So referrals is pretty much the best way to get clients. And just because you build that trust, you work so hard and then you show and prove your worth. There's so many people out there fighting for attention now. So it's just so difficult for people to take that leap of faith with you sometimes. But,
yeah,
I try to do more of like a, personal approach, like you said, just trying to get to know people, trying to be around people. So I think that's probably the best advice to give you guys.
yeah.
So what would you say in 2025? Like I know goals for 2025 sometimes can be cliche and cheesy, but what's something that you see in your future this year?
Sure. So we've launched a new AI service, um, and we're trying to get people to start. So I really think that contact forms on websites are going to go away. They should go away. I think these cold contact forms are terrible. I think that could be handled by an AI agent very easily, that you can train everything about the business. So instead of going to a contact form and filling out your information, you go and start a chat and you can ask all the questions you want about the company. You can pretty much get 90% of probably the answers that you want with opposed to talking to anybody in the company. You can even sign up for services or you could the new AI stuff is going to like an e-commerce shopping website and you can say, hey, I'm going to a dinner party tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but I'm going to a dinner party next month and I need an outfit. And it'll literally pick the outfit for you from all their stuff. And I've seen things now where you can take a picture of yourself and upload it and it will put the outfit on you and it'll give you links to buy. I mean, it's like, it's amazing the stuff that can now happen on a website during your interaction versus you just visiting pages and scrolling through things and trying to figure things out and then leaving a cold contact form hoping somebody's going to get back to you. So we're really focused on that. We're actually focusing on attorneys because attorneys have this kind of time in their day where they have to talk to people to teach them because it's like I break the law. I don't really break the law ever, but maybe I broke the law. It's like all of a sudden I need a lawyer. I have no idea how it works, right? I think criminal attorneys that happen. Like most people don't break the law all the time, so they don't know how a criminal attorney works. So they're cold calling these criminal attorneys, being like, "Hey, how does this work? How much do I pay? This and that." And the attorneys are spending probably 2 to 3 hours of their day just educating potential clients on how it works. That can all be done with an AI agent. So we're really trying to focus on that. That's kind of our big goal for our agency. Cash flow has been a big one for me this year. I really want to, like, I've realized I've signed up for so many subscriptions personally and with my business over the years. So I actually terminated my credit card. Like, I terminated all my credit cards.
Wow, good for
Um,
you.
yeah,
It's not
just to
easy.
see just to see what's
Just to
going on. And
see.
oh my gosh. So, God, there was a Roku charge. I guess we've been paying $8 a month for Roku for like 8 years I don't even know where the Roku stick is. So that was a huge one. Gosh, Midjourney just today tried to charge me like $700. I guess I'd sign up for some weird subscription for them.
Oh, that's what you were doing when we first got on this call. You were trying
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
optimize.
So we've canceled like all subscription. Personally, I'm canceling things, and I love seeing these emails come in that are like, "Hey, your credit card's no longer working." I'm like, "Ha ha! I don't even remember signing up for you." So you're not going to get my money, and then obviously renewing like the must-haves. Like if Netflix canceled, my son would probably sneak down the middle of the night and torture me. So so can't like figuring out what all my username and passwords are. Like now I've got this nice sheet of our cash flow, what subscriptions we have, how much it is, what's the username and password. It's just very nice to get all that organized. And it was so funny. I did sign up for Paramount during this whole process only so we could watch the Golden Globes.
I love that.
And you know what she said when she got up on stage, the girl that was hosting it? I forget her name. I apologize. She was really funny. She
Oh, she was
goes,
hilarious.
hilarious. And she goes like, by the way, guys, you have 7 days to cancel your Paramount subscription. When she was on the stage during like the announcement. So, which of course we had done because you couldn't watch it anywhere else, with the exception of like Netflix TV or not, or YouTube TV, which we also canceled. I realized I was paying like $90 a month for that, plus commercials. And I was only using it to watch like football. So we canceled anyway. So it's been a big cash flow cleanse. So new business, we're focused on AI agents, replacing contact forms, specifically for lawyers right now. But we are in talks with a painter who wants to use it for like custom quoting. Personally, and just kind of in terms of just operations, we're really focused on this is a big year for cash flow. And then personally for myself, this is a big year on getting my health back, right? You know, when you do a startup as an entrepreneur, especially two, your health can really take a toll. You know, even though you're loving it and you're excited and it's fun, the work you're doing, all of a sudden you realize you've been sitting in a chair for 8 hours, no matter how many times your watch told you to stand up.
I can so relate.
So, you know, it's like, well, I just got a few more things to do. And then I'm like standing up there, I'm doing this, you know.
It's time to stand up.
Trying to trick it. So really focused on, you know, my health. I'm doing the whole tracking calories. I'm going to the gym every day. Like those things that I read about that people did, and I'm like, how do you do that? And now I found that I cannot not go to the gym. Like it's become my way to. So I do this. I had this really great life coach, and I'll tell you guys this little secret trick. And he's like, if you can, he'd give you like here's like 10 things you need to do during the day to achieve the goals that you want. Right? I tell him like, hey, I want to be healthier. Well, you need to do these things. And he's like, if you can ever combine those things, it's really great. Right? So for instance, like I want to play more sports. I want to be more social. He was like, there's a great combo, right? He's like, call me, we'll go play tennis together. And we did. Right. And now we're having social time while playing tennis. He was like, no, we've knocked out, you know, your workout, your sports, and your social time. I was like, that's great. But I really have tried to start, you know, meditating. I know it's cliche, but just clearing my head. And I found there was this trending workout going around it's like 1533. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
No, I haven't. Tell me about it.
So if you get on a treadmill and you put it up to 15 incline, and then you do a speed of level 3 for 30 minutes, and you just like a brisk walk, right? And you literally will get your heart rate up like to a nice, you know, above average heart rate. You get a great workout. So what I do is I have a 30-minute meditation that I play, and I hold the handlebars and I close my eyes and I meditate for 30 minutes while I'm doing this walk at an incline. And now I bumped it up to like 4. So I'm like, you know, I'm like that old person, you know, doing the speed walk on the treadmill. But I don't even like, there's no way I could do a treadmill for 30 minutes and not just get completely bored and go crazy unless I'm checking email or something. But for some reason I can do it for 30. I even want to keep doing it. Like I forget that I'm on the treadmill. I get into this nice relaxation meditation mindset, and it's just unbelievable. It's a great way to just detox from the day and realize, hey, that email that I've got to get to the client about that proposal, that doesn't matter, right? Like this is where I'm at right now in life, just thinking about the things that you really need to be focused on, right? Not your clients and your emails and your text messages and your social media. It's, you know, focused on yourself and your where you are in life, and just having a moment every day to really just take a break and say, none of that is important right now. All that's important is, you know, me, my friends, my family, maybe my spirituality. And I want to embrace that right now at this moment and let that come back into my system, right? So that's become a really good daily thing that I'm really, and then I'll lift weights afterwards. But the key is getting that 30 minutes on that treadmill of just kind of meditative fitness. Meditative fitness. There's our new business right there. Meditative fitness.
There you go. That's perfect.
Meta fitness.
Meta fitness. You have just started something right here. You heard it here first, folks. Meta fitness.
I'm gonna get the GoDaddy right now. I'm gonna go get the domain name. Actually, that sounds more like a medical thing. It needs to be more like spiritual fitness. I don't know. We'll have AI brainstorm
something like the chakras or something, or
yes,
whatever spirituality you
like
subscribe to.
Yeah, I can't. Usually these are when I have my best creative moments, like when I'm on a call or something. But I think my mind is, I've got to do a really creative. I got to go do like a whole script at 1 o'clock today with a buddy for like an acting thing, for a whole separate thing. So I think my mind is kind of, my creative juices are waiting for that moment. So I've kind of
Yeah.
locked them down.
Save them in, save them in.
Yeah.
But okay, so since you have to go soon, I'm just going to ask you one more question. So you mentioned something about ads and placing ads. So a question I get a lot is how do you target your potential customers or clients for your clients?
Sure. Most of our targeting is done on Facebook and Instagram, um, or LinkedIn. So that's actually a really great question. And that is the question, right? Uh, so a lot of my clients will come to me with an objective, a service, whatever, and like an audience. And I got to figure out the best network to use to target that audience. Um, Google Ads is always, well, used to be. I don't really like Google Ads anymore. And I think Google is going to take a big hit, right? Because 60% of iPhone or 60% of Google search traffic comes from like iPhones. And when Siri launches Apple Intelligence, nobody's going to Google anymore. I mean, Siri's going to
Right.
answer everybody. So they're going to take a huge hit. So I can't believe people aren't talking about that, or their stock's not reflecting that. I mean, they could lose 60% of their business in the next 6 months. Anyway, but it's like if you're like a service-based local business, people are looking for you. Google Ads is the lowest hanging fruit, or search engine optimization, right? People are already looking for you in Google. That's where you need to put yourself. Hey, how do I do that for ChatGPT? I don't know that yet. I think ChatGPT is just kind of reading off Google search results. So if you're optimized for Google, you can be optimized for ChatGPT or AI. If you're a business that you just need to create awareness about your business, you need to find people kind of like your current customers. Social media is great for that. Uh, Facebook and Instagram are really good. That's why we love Facebook and Instagram for email newsletter growth, because they can give me their current email newsletter list. Let's say it's like some of my clients are like, they have a list of like 70,000 users. I will upload that to Facebook. By the way, Facebook owns Instagram. If you guys didn't know, it's the same company. It's all Meta, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook. What's the other one? I can't remember. They own another one. So I can upload that email list with any other information in that list that helps, like first name, last name, email address, phone number, etc. Facebook will match that list to their user base. And then I can either run ads to that list. So if you want to actually target your current customers and remind them about your service, or tell them about a new service you offer, or just get, information to them, you can. But the best thing Facebook and Instagram can do is create a lookalike. And you can literally create a lookalike of like 1 million people that are exactly like your current customer list, right? And then you can do things with that lookalike. You can say, hey, filter that lookalike to only the Dallas area, right? And then put an ad in front of that lookalike. So I want to find people that are exactly like my customers that live in Dallas and put this ad in front of them. Facebook, Instagram can do that. Works really well. If you don't have a list, you're just kind of targeting a general type of person. Facebook, Instagram does have some basic information about people. They used to have a lot more, but there was a security breach, and then Facebook stopped using that extra data. But you can target people that are recently engaged, right? You can target people that are married, target people that are parents, parents of 16-year-olds, parents of 5-year-olds. So there's some really good targeting. People that work for this company. It's got to be a big company. People that have this job title sometimes, right? Problem is Facebook doesn't have like general job titles. It literally kind of lets people type whatever they want. So that's how we find our audience on Facebook, Instagram. LinkedIn's a lot better for targeting business type people, because I can get very granular. I want to target, CMOs of companies that have 500 more employees, right? Then I'm not targeting, or target CEOs of companies with 500 more employees. Then I'm not targeting the CEO that's the one person that's sitting in their mom's basement, right? That has the title
Right.
CEO, right? Problem is LinkedIn is a lot more expensive, but the leads are going to
Mhm.
be better. But
Absolutely.
Facebook, Instagram, you're going to get leads at $10 a lead. LinkedIn 50 to 100, right? There's your problem. 10x the cost on LinkedIn. But if it's worth it for the better lead, that's good. Then you have programmatic and display ads and online type stuff. So those don't really work that well, but it's a great way just to keep awareness, and you can run ads to pretty much any type of person you want. I want people that own a Ford truck that are millionaires that live in Nebraska, whatever, right? And I can put ads on mobile apps and websites and desktop computer websites and stuff like that. And
Much
then
more top of the
finally,
funnel.
yeah, more top of the
Mm.
funnel kind of awareness, getting your image out there. More for big brands, pharmaceutical, financial management companies. You know what? I used to know a way that, in the internet has all this information on you as a user. So when a website loads and it's going to deliver an ad, let's say like a news website or a weather website, it'll ping the ad network and say, hey, I've got Kinsey Adams loading up this page. Who wants to target her, right? Although it doesn't know your name, it just gives you some weird like unique identifier encrypted thing. And then you get these ads. There used to be a way, I think it's probably still there. I don't remember how to do it. You could look yourself up by your IP address and you can see what the internet thought you were.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it shows like what they think your political status is, like all your personality traits and all these different things about you.
everything. Mine was pretty accurate, except I guess I'm black, according to the internet.
Hey,
So I'll take it, you know. But that's another way to run ads. Again, top of funnel type stuff. And then man, Reddit is killing it right now. And it's just kind of
absolutely.
yeah. So Reddit's this whole nother animal. And I'm still trying to kind of wrap my brain around how to, because if you get in there and you run the wrong, like I ran an ad on Reddit, and like one of the users literally messaged me and said, "Don't ever run an ad on this platform again." You know, and I flagged him for harassment. I was like, geez, that was like, it was really evil, like the way he
That's
said it. I don't think I
intense.
said it right, but I got this kind of cold chill up my back, like, ooh, you know, Reddit, I'm scared.
Yeah.
So Reddit's kind of this new animal that's just become this beast that's now showing up in Google results. And so if you can master Reddit, I mean, I think you can almost target, well, you can target a lot of people on Reddit, right? Especially younger tech generation type people. So
Do you dive
yeah,
into device ID at all?
no, not really. That's more the programmatic type stuff. We don't get that granular with it. So
Okay. Makes sense. That's just something that we did. So I was like really interested because you're such an interesting human. I love speaking with you.
yeah,
I would love to get your perspective on that. I thought I
thank
feel like
you.
you're very research.
Sounds like you know more on that subject than me. So I'd love to pick your brain on that one. Probably maybe something I missed.
Yeah, I mean, that would be great. That would be wonderful.
Sure, anytime.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Scott. Your insights were fantastic, especially when it comes to integrating AI into your personal and professional life. And now the secret's out. You are a robot. Trust him, or can we?
Dun dun
Dun,
dun.
dun, dun. I know our listeners will take a lot of value from what you've shared today. If there's anyone out there that wants to connect to Scott and learn more about Digital Treehouse's services, you can head on over to digitaltreehouse.com. Scott, seriously, this has truly been a pleasure having you on the show. Let's stay in touch. I'd love to hear how things continue to evolve for your agency in the next couple of months. Thanks again for being here.
Thank you, Kinsey.